cats. And for them, a tiny little nibble, even just a sniff, can have absolutely devastating consequences.
All right, the Lunar New Year, Tet, is almost here. You know what that means, right? Filling our homes with all those gorgeous, colorful flowers. It's all about joy, a fresh start, and those amazing smells really set the mood. But what if I told you that some of those beautiful symbols of happiness could actually be a deadly threat to one of your family members?
So yeah, let's really get into this, because this is a question every single cat owner absolutely needs to ask themselves. We bring these plants inside to make everything feel festive, but we could be, without even knowing it, setting a literal trap for our curious cats. And for them, a tiny little nibble, even just a sniff, can have absolutely devastating consequences.
The thing is, many of the most popular traditional flowers we use for Tet, well, they're hiding a really dark secret. They are incredibly toxic to cats. And you know how cats are, right? They're super curious, which just skyrockets the risk. So today, we're going to uncover which of these pretty plants are the most dangerous, and more importantly, what you can do to keep your furry buddies safe.
Okay, let's start with the absolute worst offender, the single most dangerous flower you could possibly bring into a house with a cat. It's beautiful, it's super popular, and it is, without a doubt, the #1 killer. We are talking about lilies.
I mean, look at them. Lilies are the very definition of a deceptive beauty. We love them for their elegance, that incredible smell. But for a cat, they're one of the most powerful poisons they could ever come across in your home. And what's really, well, not interesting, more like terrifying, is just how incredibly deadly they are.
If a cat eats any part of a lily plant, it leads to something called acute kidney failure. And let me be clear, this isn't just a little upset stomach. We're talking about a complete catastrophic shutdown of their kidneys. It's like their body's entire filtering system just stops, and the clock is ticking, fast. If that cat doesn't get emergency vet care within 18 to 24 hours, the survival rate is practically zero. The kidneys fail, and at that point, there's usually nothing anyone can do.
And this is the part you really have to understand. There is no safe part of a lily. It's not just about your cat chewing on a leaf. Nope. The petals, the stem, even the water they're sitting in, it's all packed with poison. But the snakiest, most insidious danger of all? The pollen. Think about this. Your cat just brushes past the flower, gets a few tiny grains of pollen on its fur, and then later, when it's cleaning itself, it licks it off. That's it. That tiny little bit is enough to cause total, fatal kidney failure.
So this isn't up for debate. There are no exceptions, no what-ifs. If you own a cat, or even if a cat just visits your home sometimes, you simply cannot have lilies in the house, period. It's a simple, absolute rule that will save a life. It is just not worth the risk.
Okay, so we've established that lilies are the worst of the worst. But believe me, they are not the only threat hiding in those pretty holiday bouquets. So let's take a look at a few other deceptive beauties you really need to have on your radar.
Next up is the narcissus. This includes things like daffodils and paper whites. They're another huge holiday favorite. The real danger zone here is the bulb. You know, if your cat gets curious and decides to dig around in the pot and chew on it, that's where the most poison is concentrated. It's got stuff in it like lycorine, and that can cause a whole cascade of horrible symptoms. We're talking everything from intense vomiting and drooling to life-threatening seizures and heart issues.
And then we have azaleas. They're absolutely gorgeous, right? But they contain a really nasty neurotoxin. The name alone tells you what it does. It attacks the nervous system. And what's truly frightening is that it only takes a few leaves. Just a few little leaves can be enough to cause this terrifying loss of muscle control, even paralysis, and in the worst cases, a coma or deadly heart failure.
All right, and let's quickly cover the amaryllis. It's pretty similar to the narcissus in terms of the toxins it has. This one really goes after their stomach and intestines. The symptoms are just awful to see. We're talking severe belly pain, so bad that the cat will just crouch down and tremble. It's a really, really painful experience for them. Okay, wow. After all that doom and gloom, I know exactly what you're thinking. So, can I just not have any flowers in my house ever again? And the answer is a big, resounding yes. You absolutely can. You just have to be smart about it. So let's totally shift gears and look at some beautiful alternatives that are completely safe for your furry roommate.
First on our yes list, orchids. I mean, they're just pure elegance, right? Plus, they last forever, and the best part, totally non-toxic to cats. This is the perfect, sophisticated swap for lilies. You get all of that beautiful festive vibe with none of the worry. A totally stress-free choice.
And how about roses? I mean, who doesn't love a classic rose? They're beautiful, timeless, and 100% cat safe. Now, there is one little thing to remember, but it's just common sense. Just make sure you snip off the sharp thorns so your cat doesn't get poked or scratched. But the flower itself poses zero toxic threat.
And if you want to go for a big, bright burst of pure happiness in your house, you cannot go wrong with sunflowers. They just scream cheerful, they perfectly capture that joyful holiday spirit, and you guessed it, they are completely safe for your pets.
Okay, let's switch gears one last time and talk about the worst-case scenario. Let's say you've done your best, but you think your cat might have eaten a toxic plant. What you do in those first few minutes is absolutely critical, so listen up. This is your emergency action plan. Okay, rule number 1, and this is the most important one, it's about what not to do.
Do not try to make your cat throw up. I know, it seems like the logical first step, right? Get the poison out. But you can actually cause way more harm. You could seriously damage their throat, or depending on the poison, you might even make their body absorb it faster. You could actually make things worse.
So what should you do instead? It's a really simple two-step plan. Step 1, if you can do it safely and without wasting time, snap a quick, clear picture of the plant. This is going to help the vet identify the poison and figure out the best treatment, fast. Step 2, and this is the big one, rush your cat to the nearest vet, immediately. Do not wait, do not see how they do. As we learned with lilies, time is the single most critical factor for survival.
So look, the big takeaway here isn't to be scared of having flowers in your home. It's just about being informed. It's about being smart. But choosing pet-safe plants and just knowing what to look out for, you can make sure your holiday is filled with nothing but joy for everyone, including your cat. So go ahead, decorate your home, celebrate beautifully, and most importantly, celebrate safely. Happy New Year!